Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with our Charles Munch Retrospective, Volume 2. This is our survey of individual releases in the Japanese RCA Munch edition, which, of course, were all in the big Munch box. But I thought this was sort of a more fun way to approach it, even though that edition was much smaller than the big Munch box. Anyway, let's see what we have here. I've got another 5. Here they all are. See, they're in Japanese. Look at that. I wasn't kidding. And there's some really, really nifty stuff in there, I must say. First, Berlioz. Oh, Berlioz, the Munch specialty. This is the Damnation of Faust. And look at all these Japanese people who are participating. Well, they're not Japanese, but they're in Japanese. Let's see if they do this in English somewhere. Or do I have to find the Japanese Munch box? Ah, thank God, yes. Some absolutely fabulous soloists here, if I can read them. Oh, well, that's why God made magnifying glasses. Yeah, soprano is Suzanne Danko. Oh, yeah, she's marvelous. David Pollard is the tenor. He's Faust. Marshall Singer, baritone, is Mephistopheles. Donald Graham is Brander. And let's see, McHenry Boatwright is the bass in the Epilogue sur la Terre, Epilogue on Earth. This is with the Harvard Glee Club, of all things, and the Radcliffe Choral Society back in the day when they were still separate. Look at that. Charles Munch, the Boston Symphony, and this is an older recording. It's in mono. It was recorded in 1954 in Symphony Hall in Boston. It's in mono, a very good mono. I mean, it's in good sound, and it's a thriller of a performance, as you might expect from Munch, as all of his Berlioz was. This seemed to be a Boston specialty because Ozawa later recorded another terrific Damnation of Faust with the Boston Symphony in glamorous stereo. But this is Munch. It's Berlioz. It's like a big deal. And in 1954, I don't know how many complete Damnations of Fausts there were. I really have no idea. What an amazing piece it is, too. It's just fantastic. Then we've got the Berlioz Requiem. Oh, boy. This is still the best Berlioz Requiem out there. I mean, hands down the best Berlioz Requiem out there. Gloriously recorded in stereo. It's just amazing. I'm going to see if they stuck anything else on here. No, they didn't. Okay, it's just the Berlioz. Oh, no. You also get Les Nuits d'été. I knew there was something else on here. It's Les Nuits d'été not with Leopold Zimmer, with Victoria de Los Angeles. Yes, the amazing Victoria de Los Angeles. She's an incredible singer. That's an earlier mono recording, but we don't care because it's amazing. You know what just blew me away in this Requiem? It wasn't so much the Dies Irae with the brass bands and all this stuff. It was the Lacrimosa, which is even bigger in its way. And the end of the Lacrimosa, where the choir is going, Lacrimosa, Dies Irae, and then the timpani and bass drum come in with jump boom, jump boom, jump boom, jump boom, jump boom, like that. And the oboes and things are going with the brass interjections, and then that huge diminuendo at the end. Wow. What a cosmic thing that is. And I listened to all kinds of other performances, and no one hits it the way Munch does. It's usually flabby, the jump boom, it's like it's supposed to be hard and slam at you, and all these other performances sort of I just, when you listen to that, it's something that's so right and so powerful. You don't understand why other people do it differently. It just doesn't make any sense because he got it right. Doesn't anybody else? Well, no. Anyway, it's an amazing performance. Then we have Brahms first. Now, Munch was an amazing Brahms conductor, and unfortunately, he never did a complete cycle in Boston. He did 1, 2, and 4, if I'm not mistaken. They're really, really good performances. This Brahms first is fantastic. I had this when I was a kid because my mom was a huge fan of Brahms' First Symphony, and this was one of the ones that we had. We had a couple of them, if I'm not mistaken, in her record collection. And you also get the Tragic Overture, So this is definitely worth hearing. Yeah, it's worth remembering. It's always worth remembering when you think about Charles Munch that he was from Alsace, and so he was, his German is, what they call plus catholique que le pape. He could be more German than the Germans. And he was concertmaster of the Gewandhaus Orchestra under Furtwängler, So he was Brahmsian to the manner born, without a doubt. I mean, incredible. And then, Daphnis and Chloe and the Pavane for a Dead Princess. Now, which Daphnis and Chloe is it? That is the question. Recorded in Symphony Hall, Boston. It's in stereo. Yeah, we know that. But there were two of them. There was a 1962 and a 1950 something. So let's break out the magnifying glass here. I mean, it's an original cover. This is probably the earlier one, judging from the cover. But you never know. So we have to check. Okay, here it is. Righty. The New England Conservatory Chorus and all those people. Yep. Recorded in... It doesn't say. Oh my gosh. Come on, folks. Give me a break. Oh, 1955. Thank God. There it is. Okay. It was in 1955. It's the earlier of the Daphnises. The remake is better. It really is. It's a little bit better. But this earlier one is the one that got all the play because it was early stereo. It was a sonic spectacular. It is absolutely wonderful recording. So there's no question about that. And but I like the stereo one better. I do. I think it's better. And then, oh yeah, Chausson, the symphony. Oh gosh, this was great. When this came out, these are all stereo thingies. There were not so many Chausson symphonies around. Let's see, Paul Paré did one on Mercury Living Presence. This was the deluxe version, though. It was just an absolutely wonderful performance of a terribly neglected work. I mean, Chausson, he died in a bicycle accident, and there were only so many recordings of his single symphony. And we also have the poem with David Oistrakh. I mean, such a class act RCA was back in those days, weren't they? Just amazing. And as another incredible favorite, the Symphony on a French Mountain Air, the D'Indy Symphony 7 or whatever it was actually called in French, with Nicole Henriot Schweitzer piano, who was sort of a Charles Munch favorite pianist. She also did the Ravel G major concerto with him. And I love the Symphony on a French Mountain Air. I mean, I played it. So, I got my orchestra to do it. And when I was repertoire committee person with the New York Symphonic Arts Ensemble, and we had a wonderful pianist, Sylvia Kahan. I've told this story before. It's a funny story how we got this hotshot Russian guy from the Manhattan School of Music to do the piano part. And because it's a concertante part, it's not supposed to be like a concerto. He was a hotshot, and he thought, it wasn't going to be, we didn't have to practice. And we got to like the week before the concert, and he had no ability to play it. I mean, he quit. He just looked at it and said, I can't do this. And he quit. He walked out on us. And thank God, Sylvia Kahan, who's a French music scholar and who runs the Graduate Center at I think, CUNY in Staten Island, was around. And she wafted in and saved the day. And what a fun piece of music this is. It's so charming and full of color, and the tunes are wonderful, and it's a folk tune. The ending is actually funny. I mean, legitimately funny. And when the orchestra and the piano can't get together on the last few chords, I mean, D'Indy was not one to have a sense of humor. He was not. But here he did. And this was the performance of choice for like a bazillion years. So there you have it. 5 wonderful releases in our Munch retrospective. The guy was amazing. What a legacy. Oh my God, it's just fantastic. And for those of you who are building your classical collection, Charles Munch and the Boston Symphony was like one of the big happenings back in the 50s and early 60s. He really was. I mean, what a tremendous amount of recordings he made in a short period of time. From like 55 to 62. That was his Boston period, and he managed to do really quite quite a large repertoire of amazing stuff. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.